Burger Cookies. The best cookies ever. Just saying. Maryland girl. Love these. So does this girl. What do you got?
Burger cookie.
A burger cookie. They're all
And I found my
Come on, we can put your hair up.
I
Burger cookie.
got a burger cookie because I did my
Can I show you?
writing.
Show me.
Okay, so I made this in art at church. After our classes, we have art or dance, and I did art. And I made this,
What is that?
an owl. Mommy's favorite.
Mommy's favorite towel. Okay, so we're gonna put our hair up in the towel in a little thing, but we'll be back. Pow! It's up. There are burger cookies. What? I can't see. Hold on. Now we can see you. There are burger cookies on the counter. You may have one because they are Mommy's cookies. You only get 10 in the pack. And they're like $6 a pack. But they're so good. Cookie. You know you want one. You gotta try these cookies. Best cookies ever. Best cookies. See, she agrees. That little girl right there. That little girl right there. Best cookies ever. Burger cookies. Maryland born and raised. Best cookies ever. Kelsey, where's your cookie? In your where? In your belly. She actually ate her whole cookie. I'm surprised because this kid never finishes anything. Wants to start eating everything but never finishes it. Which is amazing. That's how good the cookies are. Have one. They're delicious. Not sponsored, by the way. Mom's here. So I went up to upload. I know we didn't film a lot today. Had a really long day. Something happened with one of my coworkers. And I can explain that real fast, but I'm not going to use real names. So whatever I call them is what I call them. And we'll deal with it. So one of my coworkers, we'll call her Violet. She comes back into my office is right next to the store manager's office. And store manager at the time was meeting with one of the other managers. So, you know, Violet comes back and she's like, hey, by the way, I share my office with like 3 other people. And next to me, there's my desk, there's the main caterer's desk, and then there's Susan's desk. So I sit at the main caterer's desk when she's not there, by the way, just because of where the phone lines are, the main phone lines are. So I'm sitting at the main caterer's desk. Susan's next to me. Violet comes back and she's like, I don't feel really good. I'm shaky. My heart's racing. My chest hurts. I'm not breathing really good. And we're like, well, you need to go to the hospital. You know, it sounds like you may be having some problems. You know, Violet's like, no, I'm gonna stay and work. And she looks, and store manager's in a meeting. So she's like, I'm gonna go back to work. She comes back like 3 minutes later, and she's like, you know, I'm having a hard time breathing. You know, shaking was getting worse. And we're like, you know what? You need to go to the hospital. You need to go to the hospital. She's like, but you know, the store manager's in a meeting. And we're like, knock on the door and interrupt the meeting. This is more pressing than the meeting that she's in. Like, the meeting that she's in is over products or whatever. It's not a big deal. She will survive. So we finally convinced her to interrupt the meeting, and the store manager was like, let me call you an ambulance and get you to the hospital. You need to get to the hospital. Of course, Violet's like, no, I don't need that. And the store manager is like, you're not taking yourself to the hospital. So Violet's like, I'm going to call my brother. And the store manager's like, okay, but you need to tell somebody, you know, that you're going, that he's coming. So Violet comes out, she's in my office, she's like, okay. She calls her brother, he's like, I'm on my way. So I sit there for like 10 seconds, and I look at Susan and I'm like, she cannot be outside alone waiting for her brother. Like, if something were to happen outside and, you know, she's by herself, someone needs to be with her. So I go and I wait for her to clock out, and this time Susan catches up and she's like, I'm coming with you. So we look at Violet and we're like, we're walking you outside, and we're going to sit outside with you until your brother gets here. And that way, we know what's going on, and, you know, we have an idea. So, walk her outside. It took her brother about 20 minutes to get there. And off they go to the hospital. We did get an update, and unfortunately, it does look like it's a heart problem. They are concerned that there's a blood clot in her heart. So time will tell what happens there. But, like, in my mind, I'm like, you know, I'm so glad that we forced you to leave, because she was going to stay there and make the trays for tomorrow. And I'm like, you know, your health is always more important than your job. Always. Your health is always more important than your job. You know, I've always said, you know, if I will work when I'm sick. I don't really care. It depends on where I'm at in the building. Like, if I'm up front working with people, I'll work. I won't work. But, like, if I'm in my office or I'm just stocking grocery, who cares? You know, I'll work sick. But, like, if I'm having chest pain or, you know I can't breathe, I'm going to the hospital. My health is more important than the job. And, like, Violet kept saying, you know, I'm going to be in trouble, And we're like, dude, you're going to get a doctor's note. And they're going to say, excuse me, they're going to say that you saw the doctor. At the very minimum, you're going to have a note for today that says you were out and what you were out for. So, you cannot get in trouble for this. You told the store manager. If she had stayed, she probably would have had a heart attack. On the floor. You know, just that would have been scary enough. So that's why I haven't vlogged a lot today. I'm just, by the time I got home and just had enough time to relax and have dinner, I just didn't want to pick the camera up. You know what I mean? Like, and I did talk to her later, and I felt so bad for her, because she was at the hospital alone, and I'm like, you really shouldn't be alone. And she's like, no, you know, they're running tests. And I'm like, you should have someone with you. And I felt bad because I didn't have a car. Like, my husband and I are splitting one car. Because if I had had my car, I probably would have gotten in the car after work and drove to see her for a little bit so that she had someone. But I think I'm going to call her tomorrow. I have her number. I got her number. And send something over to her if she's still there, which I think she'll still be there, but I think I'll send her something tomorrow, maybe to cheer her spirits up. I'm a caring person, what can I say? And she's a nice person, so, you know, I don't want anybody to be alone in the hospital, you know?